Good morning everybody, a morning shave today here at Friendship Shaving. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you're doing well, whatever time of day it is that you are in. Today I'm going to be shaving with my sample of Diver Down. It is the CK6 formula from PAA, and I have some already lathered up on my vintage Hardrite lime beater brush there. The razor I'm going to be using today is a RazoRock Eco, and we've got a blade in it. It takes a half blade and it's held in place by pins very well. There is absolutely no movement in that blade at all. The pins also hold in place the guard plate, and the tolerances on this are absolutely excellent. It is, as you can see, a lovely anodized aluminium razor, and it is in this gorgeous blue colour. So we'll get on with that in a moment. Let's get some of this lather on the face and tell you a little bit about Diver Down. Now I find this quite an unusual scent. It's a little bit spicy, and there is a hint of bay in there, and it actually is quite nice. It doesn't particularly smell of bay rum, but once you leave it on the brush a little while, that bay rum type scent comes through a little bit more. As many of you know, I don't like bay rum at all, but this is quite a nice scented soap, and I must say that when I used it the other day, and I had a little lolly stick that I'd used to scoop some into my bowl. The smell in the den here a few hours afterwards was absolutely beautiful, and the smell in the brush was gorgeous. So this is a really nicely scented soap, and if you like bay rum, then this, I think, definitely shares that same DNA. So it has scents of spiced rum, myrrh, spikenard, Jerusalem pine, lavender and cinnamon. Now the first time I used this on video, I mistakenly said that it contained menthol because it is very cooling, but there is no menthol in this at all. It is the spikenard that has its own scent, very different from, very different from menthol, and it's a really nice cooling scent. There are no vapours that come off it, the type that you normally get with menthol. So I'm enjoying this soap more than I thought I would. And of course, being a CK6 formula, it really is a lovely soap from PAA. Now, the Eco razor, single-edged razor. The first time I used this, I found it to be not particularly comfortable and a little bit difficult to use. it is aimed according to the information on the Italian Barber website. It is aimed at helping cartridge shavers transit to a single blade, and yet it is a medium aggressive razor, and the first time I used it, it left me with some razor burn on my neck. So it seems odd to have a medium aggressive razor as a so-called transition razor. The blade I'm using today is one of these Crown saloon razors. Sorry, razor blades. The razor blade I'm using today. So I'm going to shave half my face, and if I don't feel there's an improvement, I'm going to swap the blade out just to see if it's the blade or the razor. It's certainly not smooth at the moment. I've got to say, at the moment, I don't like the shave. I'm going to swap the blade now, in fact. Let's just forget that. It'll be interesting to see. So there we are, we'll put that one down there, out of the way. Ooh, nearly knocked my brush over. Now I've got an Asco red. I'm going to go with a Derby Premium razor blade. And I would say with this razor, these half blades are probably better than a blade you've broken in half yourself, because they are entirely flat. When I break a razor blade myself, it always curves up on the back edge. And I think with this razor, it would make it a little difficult to fit the blade in nice and tightly. There we are. So we've got Derby Premium in there now. I'm not finding it much better, to be honest. It's not bad. What I would normally do with a single-edged razor blade is, and I've got my supply company razor here. What I'd normally do is put the head flat on my skin and drop the handle slightly, and that is always with a flat head about the right angle for a single-edged razor. With this one, the head of course is curved, so it's trying to find the right spot, which is about there. I think you have a very small opportunity to find that spot. You know, the slightest movement one way or the other. And you just seem to lose it. Now I've got to say, it's not the smoothest razor that I've ever used. And I'm actually, although I'm getting a good shave, I know that I'll get a really good shave. I'm actually not that impressed with it at the moment. So I'd love to hear if you've got one and how you find it. Now I've definitely got the right angle there, but it's still not as smooth as I would normally like. Now let's get this, yeah, a little bit more of the bay is coming out now, but you wouldn't immediately say, oh, that's a bay rum. I'm glad about that, because I don't like bay rum, but this is kind of a nice venture into that territory, if you know what I mean. My brush that I've got is vintage. I've never seen another lime beater other than this one. So if you have any information about the line beater or hard right brushes, I'd be very interested. I've learned in restoring this one, I waxed the handle and I'll wipe that. Maybe you can see there's a white line around there where the handle joins the ferrule, and it's the wax. Now it's going to be a better pass, this one. It always is on the second pass when there's not so much hair on the face. But let me just tell you about the razor. It's very lightweight, being aluminium. It is 1.3 ounces, and that is 38 grams. And it is CNC milled, apparently from a solid billet of aluminium. Because it's lightweight, it's quite an audible razor when you shave with it. It is smoother on the second pass. It's an inexpensive razor. I think it comes out at $29.99 or $29.95, something like that, at Italian Barber. I'll put the link down below so you can have a look. It comes in a number of different colours. This blue, black, a gold colour and red. Now I can feel, especially down there, that I'm having a very close shave. The handle is quite grippy. It's not going to slip, I don't think. Now that was quite a good second pass. It is on that first pass that it is most uncomfortable for me. It's only the second time I've used this razor, so perhaps there's a learning curve, but I haven't found that first pass to be that great. So we'll see how we go with the final pass now. And this is where I picked up a little bit of razor burn from this razor the other day. I tell you what, I put a little bit of this CK6 in a bowl. The soap disappears in the brush and then you add water and it comes out, and I always end up with an absolute load of soap. And what I do is when I've finished, I just rinse this out, and if there's any unused soap, any little spots in the bottom of my bowl, I just fill the bowl with water and let it sit. And the scent in the bathroom after I've used this is phenomenal. I think it's the lavender and the cinnamon and the Jerusalem pine that really come out. Now that spikenard is really quite nice in this. It is very cooling. Now, as you know, I'm not a great fan of ultra cooling soaps or aftershaves, but this one's okay. It would be very nice on a hot day, and we've seldom seen those this year in the UK where I am. So against the grain, and I'm going to go really lightly now. And it's just not that comfortable, this razor, for me. I personally, I'm not a fan of this one. I'm not going to go against the grain on my face any more than that little bit there. I'll get some more water on the blade, and even that doesn't seem to make any difference to the sort of comfort or smoothness for me. I do find I have to just make minute adjustments on the razor. Just to make sure I'm hitting that sweet spot, and I'm actually quite far back in it. I think the curved head of this razor spoils or impedes me when I'm trying to get that right angle. I've got it now. Perhaps there is just a learning curve with this razor. Oh yeah, that's catching me there. I'll be interested to see, because this is the Eco, which takes that half DE blade, but it is very similar in style to the RazoRock Hawk, also an aluminium razor, but that takes an Artist Club type blade. So it'd be interesting to see how this one performs in comparison to the one I'm using today. Oh, Now I'm going to leave the neck. Alright, let's just... There we are. I'm not going to get that. I don't want the sore neck that I had the other day. Needless to say, it was uncomfortable and unpleasant. But it is by RazoRock's own chart, a medium aggressive razor. The shave is superb in terms of taking the hair off. I mean, it really is. I had a fantastic shave with regard to that. I just find it a little bit rough. That's probably the best way of putting it. It's just a little bit rough. I've tried 2 different blades in there. I'd be really interested to see what you think of it if you've got one. Now, guys, I'm going to use my unscented aftershave today because I need to be making another visit to the dentist in about an hour. I don't want to be stinking the dentist out, so I'm just going to use this one. Tooth. I think that's how it's pronounced. Tooth. My German aftershave. And this is a very nice aftershave, by the way. So if you like sensitive, perfume-free aftershave, it might be worth looking out for this if you can get it in Europe or it's sold elsewhere, because it's very, very good quality, I feel. There we are, that is my shave for today. Thank you very much for being a part of it with the RazoRock Eco. Yeah, not for me, definitely. There we are, that's it. Take care of yourselves. Have a good week. And, I hope you've had a better weekend than I have. It's been a bit rough here, but there we go. I'll see you next time around. Take care now. Bye-bye.